What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. Pornography, can it thrive on its own? The immediate answer is no, right? But I started thinking about it, like with all of these agendas being pushed and all this fighting. Let's see. You know, let's just get this out of the way and let's see. You know, let's you know we don't even have to stop the way society moves right now. Actually, you could just be like, okay, well, you start doing the maintenance jobs of America because there are women who are in trucking. So part logistics, y'all got to get more truck drivers. We got to see how many women are signed up for being truckers. And the trucking lifestyle. We got to see how many women are willing to sign up for building the roads and paving the roads. Let's see if it can thrive on its own. We got to see how many women are willing to sign up for being masons, bricklayers. You know what I mean? We got to see how many women are willing to sign up to be roofers. We got to see how many women are willing to sign up to be waste disposal. I'm not just talking about the garbage men. I'm talking about the people who have to pump the sewage pipes also. You know, so we got to see how many women are willing to sign up for that. Not all of the pretty jobs, the jobs that don't have less labor, and not to mention that, because people want the throne, but they don't want the grunt work. So we got to see who's willing to sign, how many grunts we got. Everybody want to be the chief. Nobody want to be the Indian. How many Indians we actually have? Because the reason why I believe that the gynocracy can't thrive on its own because you don't have any soldiers, you don't have any grunts, you don't have any people actually willing to do the dirty jobs. That's men should do it. No. You want to be Wonder Woman in the land of whatever that was, Atlantia, wherever the Amazon land. They built all that. You got to build it too. You got to build all that on your own. You know, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. With all this, you want to be a soldier, you got to be a frontline soldier on your own. And then your battalion has to be women too. And if y'all get shot, there ain't no crying in baseball, right? We got to see who's willing to sign up for that. And the reason why I say all of this is because this idea that I know what I'm doing doesn't work well because look at how you have most adults in America whose mothers had a primary hand in raising them and whose teachers were primarily women, and they get to college or they graduate and they get out in the real world and they're completely unprepared for the real world. Completely unprepared. Have no idea what the real world actually is. And you can say, well, the gynocracy, is a real thing, but it's operating in a theoretical sense. It's not operating in a practical sense. And what I mean by that is, yeah, people want to be in charge over the phone, but people don't want to put up the phone line. So we got to see how many of y'all willing to sign up for, putting these telephone poles up, digging the ditches. Oh yeah, you know what? Y'all could run the cranes and the caterpillars, the bulldozers, everything. Y'all could do all that. Y'all gotta sign up for this. Y'all gotta be the roughnecks on the oil rig. Y'all gotta, take those boats that's like, put the hammer on put the boat. I forgot how to say that. It's a boat that goes over a boat that you hit with a hammer. Okay, you got to hit it with the hammer to loosen it up. So you got to do that work, and it goes. Some of them go all the way around. So you got to bink, bink, loosen one, bink. You got to do that all until it gets done. That part, like we don't we don't think about the electrician jobs, not just with the telephone poles, but with the power lines. You know, you got to be the apprentice, and you got to teach the next generation how to make sure the power is working from block to block to block, street to street to street. You know, you got to make sure, you know, you don't F up the power grid for the essential things like the hospital, because if that goes out, guess what? People die immediately because they fight. That's when they're most vulnerable to be fighting for their lives. So you got to make sure that's running no matter what's going on. And they got a generator, and you got to make sure, you know, you get generators to people like this. But anyway, you know, can it survive on its own? Can it just stand up on its own? Can it thrive on its own? You know, and you know, you got to get the farms and, you know, get the food out, and you got to be the people to slaughter the food. You want these hamburgers, you got to slaughter these cows. You want these pork chops, you got to slaughter these pigs. You want these chickens, you got to slaughter these chickens. You know, you got to be the fisherman. You got to be out there, you know, in the Atlantic Ocean trying to get those sockeye. You know, you got to crab, you know, get the king crab. You got to be in the ocean. You got to put down the nets in the cages. That was the Pacific that I was talking about, the sockeye. But in the Atlantic, you know, in the Gulf of Mexico, you got to put those cages in the mud. You got to wrestle those gators to get that gator meat. You got to do all of that. So, because y'all want it in the governmental sense, and why people not like, whatever, you want to represent government, but you don't want to represent grunt work. I know nobody wants to hear it. So, you know, you got to represent the majority of the police force. See, because y'all keep thinking that crime would stop if it was all women. I think crime will increase because women will shoot more than crazy racist white cops, because they're more in fear of men. See, white cops and cops in general are afraid of black men in particular. They're not afraid of anybody else. You ladies are afraid of men in general. So I could see y'all pulling out guns on every guy on the planet. He's a man. So we shall see. Like, share, subscribe, and die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.